Okay, we're going to get started. Hi, everyone. For those who don't know me, my name is Dale Franklin, and I live here in the United States, in the state of Vermont. And we do this call every Monday, same time. And why is it? Oh, let me mute that. There we go. Why we do this call? There's a couple reasons. Number one, network marketing is a type of business that requires support. You're going to have good days. You're going to have great days. You're going to have bad days. Let's face it. You're going to have days when you hear 10 people say no. You're going to have days when you hear 5 people say yes. And what you need is a family that you can reach out to to kind of bring you up on those down days, and somebody you can celebrate on those up days. And that's what this call is about. Getting on this call week after week after week and getting to know the people that are on this call and making friends. Many of the people on here are friends of mine that I'm sure are going to be lifelong friends. And again, we created a support network, a family atmosphere. The next thing we do here is we keep people up to date and informed. Now, with many network marketing companies, that doesn't require a lot, but with ours, because we are growing so fast and we're adding so many different lines and things are changing all the time, you need to be on a call like this so you can be kept up to date on what's going on. And through this this meeting, you know, we're going to tell you about other places you can connect so you can always be up to date. So again, up to date and informed. So the important thing, and you always hear me preaching about this, is communication. We have to have the information. We have to have the support. We have to have everything that we need to continue with this business. So communication is key. Because of that, the next thing I always do is I give people ways to get a hold of me if they need to. My personal phone number is the +1 1-802-343-9075. That's 1-802-343-9075. Also, my Facebook, now let me just tell you, that phone number will help you get me on regular phone. You can get me on WhatsApp, you can get me on Telegram, you can get me on Viber. So I've just given you a lot of different ways you can reach out to me if you need help. Now, when you reach out to me for help, my way of helping people is making them stronger. So I won't always give you the answer. I'll show you where to find the answer. So the next time you have a question similar, you'll know where to go and how to get there. So I'm a firm believer in, you know, the old adage about you give a person a fish and you feed them for a day, you teach them how to fish and you feed them for a lifetime. Well, that's the way I train. I hope everybody is good with that. My Facebook page is facebook.com/DaleFranklin.378. Okay, DaleFranklin.378. So there's another way. So now you can reach me on Messenger. Okay, friend me on Facebook and speak to me on Messenger. And then I want to just share my screen for a moment here and take you to a couple places. First one will be DaleFranklin.net. This is a website that my good friend Barb DeZettis made for me. You know, you see Dale Franklin providing opportunity, shaping legacy. She even made had a neat logo made of me. This is, you know, a place to go, and you know, there's on the first page it shows you a little bit about where I've been and things like that. If you want to know more about me, we just upgraded the Who is Dale. We're also, the Who is Dale is being done in 5 different languages, so we can send it out to people so they can get a feel for what I am, who I am, and where I'm coming from. But the important thing is connections. When we click the connections, come on, there we go. Here you can come in, you can subscribe to my email list so that we can have contact with you that way. You can connect with me on Telegram. If you're not familiar with Telegram, here right over here is the way to click on this and become part of Telegram on your phone. Telegram is very similar to WhatsApp. You can join my Telegram network channel. You can join the Telegram network channel for Team We, one of the teams that I'm part of, and also the new Win Network Telegram chat. You can join that. Some of this is going to be changing soon because we're doing a rebrand, and I'll talk about that a little bit in a few minutes. But again, these are all ways you can reach out to either myself or people that I'm affiliated with on my teams, so you can get questions answered. You can start watching what people are saying, learn from different people just by following along. It's I mean, to me, it's a great way to stay connected and to build some friendships. We're going to skip YouTube. I'll come back in just a minute. You can friend me on Facebook the easy way, just by clicking here. I already gave you the address, but you can click there. You can join some of the Facebook groups. Once again, the Win Network, which is Chris Robinson's team on down. The Win Testimonials. I always take a moment to talk about this because there are a tremendous amount of testimonials in there. Some written, many of them videos. And when you have a customer that's looking for some answers on a particular product, if you can set them up with a testimonial that somebody's telling about how well it's helping them, you know, sometimes they get very emotional. Sometimes they'll have tears running down their face because it's helped them reduce anxiety or reduce pain or reduce maybe help them sleep better. Whatever the product is, someone get very emotional. That's an easy way to make a sale. Okay. And then Team We is Chris Bailey's team. He originally was out of Washington, D.C., has a team in D.C. and in Maryland. He always wanted to live in Florida. So this is evidence of how things work for our industry. He chose to move to Fort Lauderdale, Florida, still able to build his team in the DC area, and he's building a team now in Florida. So again, you can build this business anywhere, and you can decide where you want to live. You can connect with me just by clicking on this for WhatsApp. We also have the Zoom meetings that come up each week. You know, we have the ladies 11 a.m. Half-hour power Zoom on Mondays. We have my call on Mondays, and you can see we have the ID number. We have the password if one's required. So you can go to this back here, and you can find out what's going on each day. You can see that Chris Bailey is doing an opportunity presentation tomorrow at 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time, which is like 9 o'clock Kenya time. You can see there's also some Tuesday training in the evening over there, which is fairly early in the morning for you guys. Again, everything's here. So if you have people you want to have presentations shown to, we know that those are going to be on Tuesdays and Thursdays. Obviously you can make appointments to have them done other times, but these are set. And again, when we have our Super Saturdays, there's the information for that. Although this Super Saturday is going to have a different ID and password, which we'll be setting out. So again, this is just to keep you up to date on what's going on day to day. Now I want to go back to the YouTube. You click on the YouTube. Guys, anything and everything you'd ever want to know about this business is basically right here. I've been so fortunate over the last couple of years to interview so many good, qualified, knowledgeable people that have given us information on how this business works. And so you can come in here. I mean, we just added Chris Bailey's newest opportunity presentation. We have it in a couple of languages right now. I think this one's in Spanish with Spanish subtitles. We've got all the Super Saturdays, and any special meetings we had. We have trainings on the back office. We have 90-day sprint meetings. Whatever you need to get things. Meetings on back to the basics on how to get started, things like that. So again, you can scroll down through here and you can see there's literally well over 100 videos that you can go through, choose the ones you want to learn from, and it can certainly help you. You can also click it on playlists, and it'll break it down by Spanish subtitles, the opportunity presentations, the comp plan, French subtitles. We have Ukrainian subtitles, Swahili subtitles for the African continent. So there's a lot of stuff right here that can certainly help you. While I am here, let me see if I can show it. We just so I don't have to bounce around too much. I'm going to click on this. We got something coming up tomorrow. It's going to for the people in Africa. If they want to go to this, they're going to have to get up fairly early in the morning. But
hey, Dale.
Yes.
Hey, Dale. I'm sorry to interrupt you, but I just wanted to point out to you in the chat. I gave you a more direct way to register for tomorrow night, only because some people might be getting an error from clicking on the Zoom registration link through here. That's what, when you just left our other chat, that's what had come up. So Sonia gave us a direct link right to the registration, and I put that in the chat.
That's fantastic. Thank you. So I'll stay away from this and we'll keep it simple. But if you look at the chat, you'll see the way to come to this. But this is basically a for anybody, but this is for our Cosmicology clean makeup line. We're going to have it's going to be a great opportunity for you guys to come on. There's going to be trivia. There's going to be prizes. There's going to be a lot of reasons for you to get up early in the morning to watch this. So please, if it's something that intrigues you, register with what was just posted, and see if you can't come on, and who knows, you might win something. So again, I just wanted to bring that up really quickly. So let's get out of this for now and move on. A couple other things anybody new to this should know is Jody Levanway also sends out daily, every night she sends out a list of what's happening the next day. So if there's corporate meetings coming up, she does save the date type of thing and all that. So, when we hear there's going to be a corporate meeting coming up on a certain day, she'll start posting that several days in advance. She'll let you know what's coming up in any given day. So what am I saying? I'm saying we have done everything we can possibly do to give you every single tool you need. Now, if you don't use it, that's on you. But we are trying to make things as simple as possible so you can succeed. And as I said earlier, meetings, we have besides all the meetings we just showed you and all the places you can go to find out what the meetings are, we also are willing to do custom meetings. If you want to have a grand opening, if you have somebody you want to do a three-way call with, whatever you need, you just have to reach out to me or the leaders, and we will do those for you. And it can be, as long as you give us a little bit of notice, because we are booking a couple of days in advance. But if you help let us know in advance, we can certainly set these up for you. So you don't have to do much in this business other than invite. Everything else can be done for you if that's the way you want it. If you want to become a presenter, then great. We'd love to train you. We're always looking for leaders. We're always looking to replace ourselves with good qualified leadership. And all you have to let us know is that you want to do that, and we certainly will train you. But on the other hand, if you just want to do this business and just want to do it the easiest way possible, then just keep inviting, and let us do the heavy lifting. Okay? Can't be much easier business than that. So having said all that, just remind you also that this coming Saturday is our Super Saturday. The poster, I had the poster last night, but it had a couple inaccuracies in it, so they're fixing that, and I'll have that out later today, and we'll promote throughout the week. But you certainly want to make the Super Saturday. It's 90 minutes long. It's got we're gonna have 5 speakers. You're gonna learn a lot, and it's high energy. It's fast paced. And I have yet to have anybody tell me they didn't like a Super Saturday. So if at all possible, try to attend. And we're also, for the African market, we're doing it. It's 1 o'clock in the afternoon, same as this call. So it's within the range of hours that you guys can easily attend. So that's that. Now I just want to do some updates. What I'm going to do today, I'm going to give you a few updates and things that are happening, and then I'm going to show you a video that I've shown you. Guys, I show this to you probably about every 10 weeks. It's on relationship mapping. I still think it's one of the most powerful ways to build our teams. And it's something that's kind of set up with the way we do things today with Facebook and things like that. So I'll be playing that here in just a few minutes. But first of all, I want to just bring you up to date on a few things. We're rebranding our groups. We have the Win Network, and Sonia has her team, and there's several other teams that had kind of their own thing. We're all kind of coming together, and we're going to come together under what's called the FUN team. Okay, FUN stands for Freedom Unified Network, and this is all coming at the perfect time, because we're going to rebrand our team and bring everybody together at the same time that the corporate office is making changes to the way they do things, coming up with a new marketing plan 2.0. So it's pretty exciting what's going on. And it's all going to be happening over the next next few weeks. The corporate stuff, we're probably going to hear that at the mastermind, and then they're going to spread it from there. The mastermind's coming up the 24th through 22nd through the 24th, I think, of 24th through 26th of March. So it's made it a little tough for us right now, because we want to only train you on specific things right now, because we don't want to train you on something that might totally change in a few weeks. So it's kind of limited me on what I want to do, but I think you're going to really enjoy the relationship mapping. A couple corporate changes they've already hinted at that I think you guys should be preparing for, that are going to be exciting. One of them is the holding tank. Now, guys, if you don't know what a holding tank is, right now, when you sign people up, they either go on your left leg or your right leg, on the outside of your legs, okay? And that's great. It builds power legs, but it does keep you it doesn't allow you to do everything you should be able to do as far as managing your team, okay? A holding tank, what that allows you to do is when you enroll somebody, they'll go into your holding tank. And at that point in time, you can place them over the next, usually it's 72 hours or so, you can place them wherever you want to place them. So again, you might have somebody on an inside leg who's doing a great job in building and building a great team, and is got full of energy, is a great leader, and is really doing a great job. Right now, we don't have any way to reward them, any way to help them. And now with a holding tank, you're going to be able to place somebody in their binary. So you sign them up, but you can place them under their binary. So they're going to benefit from what you're doing. And there's also some strategies to this, right? If it's me and I'm building my team, and I've signed somebody up and put them in my holding tank, and I got 72 hours of work with this. Well, we all have those people that are on the fence, the people that we've been talking to for 2-3 months. They just haven't quite made a decision to come over. Well, guess what? If you have somebody in a holding tank, you could call one of those fence sitters and tell them, hey, look, I just enrolled somebody and I'm going to place them in the next 72 hours. If you want to join right now, we'll place you first and I'll place them under you. So you already have a person in your binary tree. Now, if that person says, sure, I'll do that. Okay. And many will, because, everybody, that fear of missing out, nobody wants to miss an opportunity. So say that person enrolls too. Now you got 2 in your holding tank. You go to your next person you have on the fence and say, look, if you join right now, I have 2 people in my holding tank that I'll place in your binary. If you join right now, and I'll place them under you. I've done this in our previous company with Syntech. I've done this 3 different times where I actually enrolled a total of 6 people because of fear of missing out. Because you get to the 3rd one, you call the next one, say, hey, I got 3 people. The next one you call, you say, hey, I got 4 people. And it helps get a lot of people off the fence. Once they get off the fence and they see how great our company is and all the ways they can make money, then it's up to you to keep them locked in, but you got them there, and you're going to help them succeed. But this is just a strategy that we didn't have before that's going to be fantastic for us. So keep in mind that holding tank's going to be coming probably, I'm going to guess somewhere around the 1st of April. So that's one thing. The other thing is, and I know very little about this, but I do know that they are setting up the way we sell products to be much easier, much more user-friendly. When your customers go on and want to buy products, they're going to be able to shop and go through things very much like an Amazon experience. So that's going to be, I think that's going to be fantastic for us. It's going to keep everything integrated. Okay. So you can pull up, if you want to pull up weight loss, I'm assuming if you pull up weight loss, you're not just going to see, the body melt, you're going to see anything that we sell that has to do with weight loss all in one area. So it's going to be a very user-friendly situation, and I think it's going to skyrocket our sales. Okay, what else do I have here? Oh, just an update, just so you'll know, and I think this is exciting. Kathleen, who was our COO, and Jory, who was our Vice President of International Expansion, both of them we wish them the best. They're moving on, going somewhere else. We wish them well, but what this is doing is, we had this interim point where, Jenna was having babies and all this is going on. And, our best leaders were actually kind of sitting back and letting other people other people do work for them. They're good qualified people, but since they've decided to move on, now Jenna is our CEO. Josh is spending a lot more time working on what he does best, the marketing end, the computer end, all the stuff that you need to enhance your business. So now that the baby's a little older and they're able to focus a little bit more, I believe that this is going to be a great opportunity for us to watch our true leaders expand and make decisions very quickly, because they're the owners and they can make them. So I think this is going to be a great thing for us. I mentioned the Cosmicology Lounge. If you guys, that's tomorrow. It's 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, which is 4 a.m. Kenya time. So yes, you will have to get up early, but I think it'll be worth it for you if you want to do it. Let's see what else. I guess that's everything I wanted to really talk about today as far as updates. So let's take you right to the relationship mapping. Now, this is just about exactly 30 minutes long. And guys, this is Madeline, the person who's telling this, is somebody who, when she did it, she was with one of our previous company. So she does mention a couple things about that. Don't let that bother you. What we're looking at is the concept. And so I don't want to confuse you when she starts talking about another comp plan or something like that. But again, the training on this, what she suggests you do as far as relationship mapping and how it kind of ties into Facebook, your Facebook friends, is incredible. So please hang in here and watch it. I think you're going to be very, very impressed. If you've seen it before, it doesn't hurt. I've seen it 3-4 dozen times, and I get excited every time I watch it. If you haven't seen it before, I think you're going to be really impressed. So let me share my screen. Here we go.
Are the following 6 topics. We're going to go through building strategy. We're going to go through your approach, your presentation, your follow-up, your close, and how to train and mentor. We're going to move very quickly, but this is recorded, so if you need to watch it again, you're going to be able to do that. Let's start with building strategy. I'm going to teach you a building strategy that was recently taught to me by a multi-millionaire friend of mine who has managed to do this business incredibly effectively. Now, what I call effective building is when someone can do it more than one time and show successfully, as well as replicate that process with other people and sustain it for the long term. This gentleman reached the equivalent of what we would have as a blue diamond in a 30-day period of time, replicated that with 4 of his frontline people, and then continued to replicate through the organization, setting records that have never been beat since and had never been accomplished before that time. This gentleman has a tremendous amount of respect in my book, but he's also a great mentor for me. Anybody who can be making hundreds of thousands of dollars a month, over $400,000 a month in this kind of an industry, and do it successfully and have it be a residual where they haven't worked for 5 years since they built that, they deserve some respect. As we sat, he sat and taught us all how he built his organizations and why it was that they were sustainable, why it was that once they were built, they stayed in place and continued to build, and why it was that with this strategy, you can overcome so many of the hurdles that many people find in this industry. And we are going to teach you exactly how to do that today. Once you have that picture in your mind and you understand how to do that, we're actually going to go through the exercise of doing it. And then we're going to move forward through these additional pieces and make sure that you know how to capitalize on really establishing a very strong Allure business. So let's start with building strategy. The way you're going to build and strategize is consider this to be you at the top of this circle. Now, what I'm going to put on here is I'm going to put a little A1 just for fun. Now, A1 is a designation that just reminds you we're talking about A players. Who in your mind is the single best person you can think of that you want to do this business with. They are entrepreneurs. They are driven. They are business owners. They are financially motivated. They are the kind of person who says, if I make a decision to do this, then get out of my way because that's exactly what I'm going to do. Who is that person for you? Now, you should be thinking of a name or two names, but think of the person that you can think of first. And I want you to write that name down on your own individual paper. You should have one. And it should look a lot like this form right here. You're going to write that name on it. Now, I'm going to do this exercise for you, and then you're going to do it yourself on your individual papers. So watch carefully. For me, that person is Gary, okay? So I'm going to write Gary's name down right here. And then I'm going to say, okay, who do Gary and I both know together? Who's someone we both know that could be good at this? Well, you know what? We both know Shane. So I'm going to put Shane's name down here. Who's someone else we both know? Well, we both know Tammy. So we're going to put Tammy right here. Who is someone else we both know? We both know Ryan. So I'm going to put Ryan right here. Who is someone? And then what I want you to do is once you have about 3 names down, you're going to do a little evaluation. Out of Shane, Tammy, and Ryan, which one of those people has the greatest social influence? Meaning, if these guys know each other, which one of them bears the greatest ability to sway the opinion of the social group around them? Well, in this group, I would actually say that Shane does. So I think Shane's in the right place. But what about here between Tammy and Ryan? Well, actually, Ryan has a little bit more social sway than Tammy. So I'm going to switch the order, and I'm going to now say Gary, Shane, Ryan, and Tammy. Hey, who's another person that we both know? Well, we actually both know Jillian. Now, what about Jillian? Ooh, actually, Jillian's pretty good. A matter of fact, Jillian's a very successful woman, and a lot of people hold her in high regard. I would say actually that Jillian is a little higher than Ryan up here. So now I'm going to move Jillian there. I'm going to move Ryan here, and I'm going to move Tammy to here. So now I've got Gary, Shane, Jillian, Ryan, Tammy. Now this exercise can continue down as deep as you can go to the people that the two of you both know together. Now, this I like to call the Facebook principle. If you're sitting there and you can't think of somebody that you both know, open Facebook and look at the people that you both have as friends connected with you on Facebook, because that's what this is about. Who are you connected with? Now, what I want you to do is I want you to do the same thing, except for this is number 2. Who is another person you can think of that is a business owner? This is a person that is entrepreneurial driven. They are financially motivated. When they see opportunity, they grab for it with both hands and dive in with both feet, and you'd love to work with them because they are energetic and passionate and they love what they do. Okay, write that name down. For me, I'm going to go ahead and say for me that person is Chris. Chris is one of those kinds of people. Well, who is somebody that both Chris and I know? Well, Chris and I both know Nicholas, okay? So I'm going to write down Nicholas. And Chris and I also both know Chloe, so I'm going to write down Chloe. And Chris and I also both know... Who else do we both know? We both know Benjamin, actually. So let's write down Benjamin. Now, out of Nicholas, Chloe, and Benjamin, who has the greatest impact? Well, in this scenario, Ben does, and I would say then Chloe and then Nicholas. So let's say, for example, that was the way it worked out. Then you'd say, okay, who else do we both know? And you get the picture. You continue the exercise down and you fill in the next name and the next name until you can't think of any more, and it continues to go down in this motion. And then guess what? You got it. You're going to do it again for number 3. You're going to fill in that name, and then you're going to say, who do we both know? And you're going to fill in the name. And who else do we both know? Fill in the name. Who else do we both know? Fill in the name. Who else do we both know? Fill in the name. Now, in social influence, who has the greatest social influence? And so on. Now, I want you to do this 4 times. You are going to do this exercise 4 times. And I'm going to show you what makes this exercise so remarkably powerful is this. Number 1, You and the person that you're bringing in are now going to talk to people that you both know. And you've moved the social influencers to the top, so you're going to talk to them first. So what happens when both Gary and I go and we say, Shane, Gary and I want to talk to you about a business that we're doing? What happens when two of you approach someone that you both know, love, and respect? Now, what happens when you and Gary and Shane talk to Jillian? You say, Jillian, Gary and Shane and I have started a business. What happens when Jillian is in and you go to Ryan and you say, Ryan, we're getting the gang back together. Jillian, Shane, Gary, and I, and other people that you know, we're doing this business together. Do you know what happens is you create social influence on the people that are coming in here, because now they're becoming part of something that more and more people that they love and respect have already decided is a good, legitimate business model. You're adding credibility to the business model, and you're providing for people a sense of security that what they're about to engage in is a good thing. The other thing that you're doing is you're creating lines of social influence. You're creating a line of people that want to do business together. These are people who are friends and acquaintances. They know each other. When you're having a business meeting, they want to show up, not because they feel like they're sitting in a room full of strangers, but because they're sitting in a room full of friends. This gives you the opportunity to create lines where all of these people are socially connected. Here's the other thing that this strategy does. Now, this is incredibly important. And I will fully admit I've made this mistake in my own business and just have made this mistake up until very recently. But what do we do normally when we bring somebody into the business? We say, okay, you need to go get 4 people, okay? So here you are, and you're going to go get 4 people. Go. Yeah, see, that's the problem. You can't go because how much do you know right now? You know almost nothing. You're sitting there thinking, okay, go get 4 people. Go get 4 people. What does that even mean to you when you're brand new? If you've been to a meeting, you sat through an opportunity meeting, you saw the opportunity for yourself and you enrolled, and you leave there and your instruction is go get 4 people, you have no idea what you're doing. Right? And even if your ignorance on fire and you're just excited and you go out and start talking to people and you do go get your 4 people, you go get 1, 2, 3, 4, you're going to make some money, aren't you? And it's exciting. But how much money did those 4 people make? They didn't make anything because you were focused on getting your people. Now, what we do is we think, well, that's not my responsibility. They should be responsible for going and getting their 4. But why do you think it is that your business is moving so slowly? Why do you think that is that normally in network marketing, there's a lot of people that come in and never even get started in the business? It's because they come in and they're told, go get 4. And they feel like they need to know more information before they can start. They feel like they need to be trained before they can start. They feel like they need to have somebody teach them exactly what to say before they can start. But here is the beauty of this business model and this duplication style. You and me and Gary are going to call Shane together. And guess who's probably going to do the talking? You got it. I am. Why? Because I've been in the business a long time and I already know how to talk to people. And I can talk to Shane just as easily as Gary could because I know him. This is not a cold prospect. This is not someone who doesn't have respect for me. This is someone we already both know. And guess who's going to end up making the phone call to Jillian? You got it. I am, with Shane or with Gary and Shane sitting right next to me. And guess who's going to end up making the phone call to Ryan? I am, with Gary and Shane and Jillian on the line with me. Even if they're not talking, they're listening, because guess what happens now? I go ahead and I make these first 3 phone calls for Gary after he's watched me do this 3 times. What is he doing? He's learning how to do it himself. And guess what else? He has tremendous confidence because I didn't send him out there to let him screw up his first 7 contacts. I made his first 3 for him. I have already learned how to do this. I have already had success doing this. I can approach this with confidence. Never forget that 93% of communication is nonverbal. So we take our people out, and even if we give them a script, even if we teach them exactly what to say, 93% of that communication is nonverbal. So where's their confidence? If they don't know what they're doing and they feel that way, where is their confidence? It's certainly not going to come through in communication. But this building strategy allows us to change that. This building strategy allows us, this person that's already had success and already has confidence, to do the talking for these first three. Now, this person has success, right? They have a team that's 3 deep for them. So guess what they get to do? They get to make the next phone call. And more importantly than that, they are going to do the same exact exercise, and they're going to start their next line. And then they're going to do it again until they have 4 lines, just like you did. All right? Now you can see how that would work, but let me now talk about how you're going to push this to a whole different level. And it is this. Pay attention, because this is important. Wealth and urgency are synonymous. Okay, wealth and urgency are synonymous. If you don't do this fast, if you don't build your business quickly, it's not going to build. And this is why. Let's say I go out there and I bring in Gary, and I'm feeling very good about myself. I've got the rah-rah, I'm cheering. I took a snack break because I was so excited that I had success. Bam, got my one guy. I feel great, but how does Gary feel? He feels like he's brand new in a business that he doesn't know how to do, and he's not succeeding because nothing's happening. Okay, but what happens when I talk to Gary, and before Gary ever leaves the appointment, he and I have done this exercise together, and he and I have a map laid out of his 20 people that he not only knows, but knows well, that has relationships with these people. Here's what happens. Number one, we now have a plan. When I did this map, I have an exact plan, and I'm going to go talk to people, and we all know each other, and we all have relationships. And I sit there and I look at 20 people on a piece of paper, and all of a sudden seeing is believing, and believing makes it possible for me to go achieve that. I have these people in place. I know these people. And guess what I didn't do? I didn't say, go make me a list of 20 people. I asked for one name at a time and then allowed association, which, by the way, you can leverage Facebook as a tool to get. Once everybody has their map laid out of 20 people, they have a plan, they have a vision, and they know how to go accomplish it, and they know they're never accomplishing it alone. Incredibly, incredibly important. Now, when it comes to speed, no longer do I tell you to go get your 4 and have you waiting to figure out how to go talk to somebody. Before you left my office, we have your map down. And guess what we can do? Gary, let's call Shane. Let's call Shane really quickly before you leave today. Let's call him. Now, true story, when we were taught this exercise on a Wednesday afternoon. On a Wednesday afternoon in my own home, we were taught this. The gentleman who was teaching brought a brand new person to the front of the room, and he said, let's do this exercise. We did the exercise with him. He immediately texted his A1 person and said, hey, can you come over here? I want to show you what we're learning right now. This person showed up. We had a conversation with that person, presented the business, and by the time the presentation was over, the 2 of them made a phone call to the next person down. They invited them to come over and talk with them for a minute. That person came over. They talked to the person about the business, and by the time they were halfway through the conversation, they had already contacted this person and said, hey, the 3 of us are here. Can you come on over? We want to show you what we're doing together. They brought this person over. And what ended up happening, I'm not joking, is we went with this brand new person. We went 4 generations deep, 2 wide over here, and 2 more deep on this leg in 90 minutes. Okay, not 90 days. We didn't bring 7 people in an organization in 90 days. We brought 7 people in the organization in 90 minutes. Now, the gentleman that taught us this said, if you get together and you do a power Saturday, for example, and you say, I'm going to sit here from 8 a.m. to 8 p.m. and I am going to drive the lines as far as I can drive them today, do you know what can happen? This gentleman went 6 wide and 13 deep in a day. Okay, 6 legs wide, 13 deep on each leg minimum in 1 day. How did they do it? Hey, let's call that person. Hey, while we're talking on the phone, let's call that person. Hey, now come over here. Let's work together today and call these 3 people. All right. Now, in sales, there's certain tactics that we use, and one of them is fear of loss, right? Well, what happens when you show up and you're Gary and you see my chart and you realize I'm going to call Shane, Jillian, Ryan, and Tammy? Those are all people you know, and you know that I'm going to call them with or without you. A little bit of fear of loss because you now know this is the place for you to be. Now, one more thing on this point really quickly that I want to make, and then I'm going to show you how we capitalize on this when it comes to volume, okay? When you're working with these people, something that's really important to keep in mind is that I can go very quickly with these people because of the relationships that I have, but I can also, I can go as deep as possible, and every single person, now Gary has a paycheck, Shane has a paycheck, Jillian has a paycheck, Ryan has a paycheck, because we are putting people down the line. Don't be so caught up in feeling like you need to capture everybody on your front level and enroll everybody yourself. In this compensation plan, you can maximize the entire compensation plan with 10 frontline people, 10 total. If you did this exercise with 4, what happens once you've been driving those lines deep? Go do it again. Go do a 5th line. Then go do a 6th line. Then go do a 7th line. But this much I can tell you. If you are doing this correctly, you will be so busy driving these first couple of lines, you're not going to have time to go do your 3rd line right away until these are established. Now, this is what's happened for me. We have now been doing this for 1 week. 1 week we've been doing this since last Thursday, okay? We have brought in that 1 week period of time, 47 new people onto our team. No, actually, no, we added 5 last night. So we have brought in 52 new people in a 1 week period of time doing this methodology. I have talked to a minimum of 5 to 6 new people a day, and they're not my personals. I'm having conversations with my personals, and we're branching out and driving their lines deep. And now guess what happened? Yesterday, I was booked solid talking to people. And guess what happened? No big deal, because they called this person and this person. They called this person and this person. Those people did the calls, and we had 5 signups yesterday, and I only talked to 1 of those people. Because now these people are becoming competent and confident that they can present the information in a powerful way that resonates. Okay, so this is a building strategy that is on fire. I've never seen anything work this well. I understand why it works this well. I don't know why it took so long for the rest of us to catch on, but now that he has taught us how fast someone can build an organization and how strong it can be, because as you're driving depth in these legs, you're driving stability and creating paychecks for every person along the way, and then you go wide. It's a really, really awesome building strategy, but I want to show you what it means to you in terms of income. Now, you just saw we have like 20 squares, and all of you have your piece of paper. So you should see there's about 20 squares on your piece of paper. Now, when you do this exercise, which we'll give you time to do in a bit, you're going to notice that it is incredibly easy and quick for you to put down 20 names on a piece of paper. And you find those first one, and then you just pick, who do we know together? Who do we both know? Boom, 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 boom. There's my next one. Who do we both know? Boom, 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 boom. I have done this exercise now with 40 plus people, 5 minutes tops, and we have a map of 20 names. And it started with 1 name every single time. And sometimes we did have to pull out our phones and pull up the Facebook app and look at the relationships, and that's fine. But this is the power of that. You have 20 people, okay? 20 people. What happens when you do that exact exercise with those 20 people? You have those 20 people now have 20. Do you know how big your team is? 400. When those people are on a 100 PV auto ship, you have 40,000 in team volume. That's twice the amount that you need to be a Sapphire in this company. That's twice the amount you need to be driving a new Audi. That's twice the amount you need to be earning that $10,000 bonus at the Sapphire level and making the kind of income that has replaced my income, go full out, guts out income. Okay? But let's talk about what happens as we go through this. As you talk to your 20 people, Not everybody is going to want to do the business. That's fine. Replace them with somebody who does. But when you replace them, I want to show you, this is really important. As you're talking to them, use these words. A B is a business owner, okay? An S is a salesperson, and a C is a customer. Every person that you come across fits into one of these categories. They either have an entrepreneurial mindset and they get the business and they want to do it, or they think, I could sell that product, but they're not necessarily interested in building a team, or they're just a customer who wouldn't want the benefits of this product. So when I talk to them, I never cross anybody off my list. I acquire my business builders, and then I move forward from there and continue to find people the two of us know and drive, as you notice the arrow going deep. I drive deep this direction and find more business owners, but I maintain notes so that I know who I have in the system as customers and salespeople. Wealth and urgency are synonymous. If I go out there and I build 4 across in 1 week's time, or say a month, I go get 4 in a month, and I feel pretty good about that, right? I went and got 4 people in a month. You got a paycheck, but those 4 people made nothing. If that's what you were focused on and that's what you did, you got a paycheck and your 4 people made nothing. Now, how long are you going to stay in a business where you made nothing? Now, the mindset might be, well, it's their job. They got to go get 4. You can maintain that mindset, and you will also maintain the current pace of your build and the current fallout of your distributor base. And you can stay at the industry averages. But if you want to raise your game, then don't just be thinking, I need to go get 4. Be thinking, I'm going to find 4. I'm going to drive lines deep in that 4, because people on my team are going to make money. Because this is going to be fun, guys, and to have fun requires 3 things. You got to be coachable, and you got to be learning new things. You got to be making money. And number 3, your team has to be making money. It is not fun when the people you bring into the business aren't making money. So this is about building in a team strategy that makes everybody money, drives lines, and gives people a reason to stay, gives people a reason to work, gives people a reason to get excited. And that is where your urgency comes in. That is where you start to move the lines very, very quickly. And when people see the numbers coming in around them quickly, they move quickly. And when that happens, your organization moves quickly. And all of a sudden, you have big paychecks emerging quickly. Wealth is synonymous with urgency. All right, now every single one of you received one of these forms. I want you to go through this exercise. I want you to put your name at the top. I already did that for you with the you, but you are going to put your top 4 people. You're going to think, who do I know? Who do the both of us know together? Fill it in. Rank it according to social influence. That is going to be important. Now, we're not going to stop the video here and give you time to do that, but you understand your exercise. And I'm sure that you can take your time as soon as you're done watching this, or you can push pause if you're watching this on your own, and at a later time as a repeat, and do that exercise. Okay. So building strategy, we all got that, right? Awesome. Okay. Approach. How do I approach people? If I'm going to have this and I'm going to need to make phone calls and talk to people, how do I do that? Well, there's a few approaches that you can use out there, but this one is my particular favorite, okay? I just learned this building method from a multi-millionaire, which means you also just learned the building method of a multi-millionaire. So if you were talking to somebody, this is what you might say. You might say, I just spent the last several hours learning how multimillionaires make their money. I have a plan. I know exactly how to do it, and I'm about to do it, and I want to take you with me. When can we meet? Now, a few parts of that are important. Number 1, if you're talking to the right person, if you're talking to a business-minded, entrepreneurial, financially driven, and motivated person, do they want to know how multimillionaires make their money? Yes, they do. If you're talking to that person and you say, when can we meet? Notice how I didn't say, can we meet? Notice how I didn't say, would you like to meet? I said, when can we meet? Because I am going to assume the sell. I am going to employ something called TNT. Take control and tell them what to do, okay? TNT, assume the sell. I just spent the last several hours learning how multimillionaires make their millions. unbelievable. I have been enlightened. I have a plan. I know exactly what I'm doing, and I want you to come do it with me. When can we meet? Now, remember, what did I do? I just outlined for them. I told them where I'm going. I'm going to go make millions. I have a plan and I know exactly what I'm doing. I told them why I'm talking to them. I want you to come do it with me. They know why I'm talking to them. And then what did I do? I made sure to assume the close. When can we meet? When can we meet? All right. Now, once I've done that, I can then set up an appointment for them. Now, one of a couple responses is going to come out. Okay. They are either going to, number one, they're going to give you a date and time, and they're going to say, why make me wait? Let's talk now. I've had that one too. They're going to schedule an appointment with you. Done. Take it. Schedule that appointment, make that phone call, or go face-to-face, sit down and meet with them and have that meeting. Okay. That's the first response you might get. The second response is, good for you. I'm happy for you. I'm really excited for you, but I'm not interested, or that's not for me, or I don't have time. Guess what? You now know. You now know you're not talking to the right person. This is not an entrepreneur. This is not a business-minded person. This is a person who is not in that frame of mind. But you know what the brilliant part about that is? That is no problem, because we're looking for three types of people, remember? We're looking for the business owners, but we're also looking for salespeople, and we're also looking for customers. Okay, so here's what you didn't do. You didn't tell them anything about your product yet. Okay, you just told them that you're going to go do something. So what you open the door up for yourself to do is, in a couple weeks later, you can call them back and say, hey, remember how I was doing that work, how I told you I was going to do that business? I've found the product that I'm working with, and you have to try it. Now, guess what they already know? They already know you're doing business for yourself. They know that you're selling a product, not offering them to share a product. You're not offering to give them a product, because you told them you're building a business, and now you just said, I found the product that I'm going to do it with. You have to try it. Now you're offering the opportunity to try your product, and they can become a customer, and you didn't burn any bridges because you didn't get into too much information that they weren't interested in the time, and ruin your chance to talk to them about being a customer. So you've just established yourself as the opportunity to now pre-select them. They select who they are before you ever continue the conversation, and those are your responses. So if they give you a date and time, they're a good potential business owner. You want to give them the presentation. If they're good for you, but that's not for me, they just identified themselves as a customer, treat them that way. Let them know, hey, no big deal. Absolutely no big deal. I'm going to go forward. I'm going to do this. I'm excited about it. And I'm sure I'll talk to you soon. And a couple weeks later, call them up and tell them, hey, you remember that business that I was starting? I just found the product I'm going to do this with, and you've got to try it. And now you have a customer approach. So those are the two things.
Okay. If you aren't excited at the moment, then you're probably in the wrong industry, because she just gave you the game plan. She gave you how to do it. I have known Nadlin for probably 10 years. Yes, Shannon took a ton of notes. This is this lady, the way she talked about this, I love the way she presents. I'd love to have the ability to take what she said and make it specifically for us, but she does such a good job. I prefer to have her present. Now, when she talked about the comp plan we used to have with her on that team, you had to have 10 people that were active at any given time to reach all the top ranks. In our company, you only have to have 3. Okay, so stop and think about everything she had to do. We don't have to do it as much as far as the amount of people we enroll. So we can focus on enrolling our 3 and then taking the other people and enrolling them under other people so that they also get paid. Don't get so caught up in the quick start bonus that you don't see the sight of the overall business, which means you want to make sure everybody gets paid. If everybody gets paid, they stay in the business and they stay excited and they continue to build. And then you start making your money on all the residual incomes, the binary, the check match, all those type of things. So again, I hope this got you excited. I'm not exaggerating. I have watched that video dozens and dozens of times. And every time that I'm having a bad day, or maybe I need a little pick me up, I'll watch it all over again. So again, it's incredible. I see Warwick's got his hand up. Warwick, what would you like to say?
No, my hand up is Abdel, and I don't know, maybe by accident.
Okay, that's fine. The last thing I want to say before we leave, it's 2 p.m. here, so we've been on almost an hour. Shannon, would you mind coming on and giving like a 2-minute kind of an update on the Cosmicology, so they'll know what they'll be missing if they don't get up early and watch that on Tuesday?
Hey, everybody, what's happening near and afar away? Blessings to everybody. So tomorrow night, we have an amazing event. And yes, we know that right now, the time zone for the event tomorrow night is 8 a.m. EST, Eastern Standard Time, right? The New York time. And then just to let you know, next month, we're going to actually switch the event to a Sunday. I just want to throw that out there, which would be March 20th at 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time on a Sunday. So for tomorrow night, you really don't want to miss this kind of event. And just to let you know, if you have people that are willing to, honestly, just get up and spend an hour of fun and positivity in an environment like that, if you're looking for maybe even a mind shift, right? A spiritual, uplifting, an energy uplifting event, that's going to be the one for tomorrow night. Now, let me just tell you something. This event is for everybody. This is an event where you're inviting to people and the pressure is off. There's really no pressure inviting, because I want you to think about this. At some point in your life, you invited someone to maybe your son or daughter's birthday party, maybe a wedding, maybe your cousin's, graduation party, right? Maybe just a celebration or whatever it is. I know you've invited somebody. I want you to put your mindset into that kind of, view, because this is an open, fun, non-pressure environment, just to kind of literally have fun. So when you're inviting, it almost like takes away that guard that we are so used to putting up, where we second guess ourselves. We second guess who we're trying to invite to maybe take a look at our opportunity, presentation, or even our product, right? Come on. I want to see, like, drop me a heart if you understand what I'm saying, right? Drop me a heart in this chat right now if you have ever second guessed about asking and inviting someone to look at your presentation or your product, right? Or another event that is geared towards like the cutoff call, so on and so forth. But anyhow, this is not that kind of environment. This is strictly for fun. And the great thing is it's open to anybody to win. It's open. This is for guys too, because, right, there's single dads out there, right, that take care of their daughters, and maybe they have teenage daughters. And you know what? We need their teenage daughters at this event. This is open for, all women and people who use makeup, or they have a loved one. And maybe, like, let's just say if Dale can't have his wife come on, or his nephews, or his nieces, or whatever, his daughter, whatever, right? But if Dale is on, he could win something for somebody that he knows. He could win something for free. So we have trivia games. We have value. You are all going to love it. So if you want to kind of see like what this is, just different way how to run your business. Some people just work their business with this one event. Okay. I have invited up to 129 people. Why? Because there's no limits. There's no limits to ask who, tell them to come and just say, hey girl, you want to have some fun. I know it's early for you. And yeah, I'm going to be up to at 4 a.m. in the morning, but come on girl, let's get our tea and, hang out with me. And I'm telling you, you don't want to miss this. You can win some makeup for yourself. How about that? Right? So on and so forth. So I don't want to take up much more time because I totally could go into more depth, but you do not want to miss this. We're going to have these events every single month. They're going to get bigger. We're going to have people by the thousands coming to these events. So come check it out. It's just for 1 hour of your life. Get up and show up. All right. And let's do this together. Woo, woo.
Thank you, Shannon. And guys, she's the host on these things. You can feel her energy today. Can you imagine what it's going to be like at this event? I just scrolled down through it. Again, she posted it on here. It's to register for this event. It's www.happyhealthywealthysociety.com. Okay. So join register for it. Get up a little early tomorrow morning. Hey, I give you permission to get up, watch it, and go back and take another nap. I'm okay with that. But I think it's going to be a lot of fun. I think you guys are going to enjoy it. And this will give you a little feel for how we're starting to merge our teams. So we have, we just have all this new energy coming from different ways. And that's what I love. I love, you know, sometimes I'm up here talking and I hear myself and I go, my God, Dale, that's the same stuff you've been saying forever. You know, you might only hear me say certain things once or twice. I hear me say it hundreds of times, you know, so I love having new energy. I love having new ideas that I can add to. I love having new people I can invite to this call and give us some training. So again, if you have a chance, go to that, get to know some of the people. And Jen, did you have something else? Unmute yourself.
Yes, I do. So I just want you to put this in your mind, right? Like, these events are done for you. I have no financial ties to any one of you at all, but we put our efforts together because we want to see everybody rise to the top. We want to be the stampede of people that are walking across that stage, that all of a sudden now you're having success and you can fly into the US and attend a convention. We want to have the most amount of people with the most amount of success, whether or not I have a financial tie to you or not. So seeing you have success is the most important thing. And it honestly, it gives me such a great feeling. And again, the more people, I know somebody said it's 3 a.m. in South Africa, get time out of your mind. Put the time out of your mind and put the time into your business. This is going to be worth it. And I said it in the chat, it's worth it. It's worth it. Okay. So once you see, that way you can see what the event is like. You know why? Because maybe you can't make the next one, but know that you can invite people because it's all laid out for you. It's all set up and you're going to see what a magical event it is. And you could take advantage of it and use it as a tool for your business.
Isn't that fantastic, guys? The fact that, you know, I've always felt good about the fact that I help a lot of people on these teams that I have no ties with financially. But the fact that there are so many people in our overall team that are in the same situation, that don't have financial ties to different people, and yet they're willing to help. They're willing to bring their energy. They're willing to bring their love. Okay. So I'm going to close it there. We've been on for just a hair over an hour. Guys, thanks for staying a few extra minutes. If you can at all make this call, please try to. I think you're going to enjoy it, and it'll give you an idea what's coming down the road. So as I always tell you, remember, I love you all. There's nothing I want more from you guys than see you succeed. And remember that we're here for you whenever and however you need us to help you. So have a great week, and hope we'll see you tomorrow night, or early for you guys, early the following morning. Okay. Take care. Bye-bye.